And we're live. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, everyone. We are playing a brand new Star Trek game. Star Trek Resurgence. So, let's get this story going. I'm super stoked for this. Dramatic Labs adventure relationship events you are about to experience, shaped by your choices. It may not have been what it all said because I didn't read it all.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down.
Hi, Mel.
They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them.
How you doing tonight?
Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos,
the bubble wrap.
In this case, change is good.
Thank you. Oh, I'm just chilling. Hold on. Before that continues. No, I got a new game here. Star Trek Resurgence. It literally just came out. And it's one of these story-based choice. Your choices in the game determine where the story goes. It's the damn bubble wrap. I can't hurt myself. Oh, there should have been enough of it. I wanted to make sure it didn't get damaged. And I hope it's going to help you out tremendously with your streaming. Sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses. Okay. Took all of it and the box. Oh. Pick up. What species is she?
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
Here's a tip. Don't close your eyes. You'd think that would make it easier, but it only makes it worse. Look out the window, pick a star, and just focus on that.
I'll give it a try.
They don't give you a lot of time for those choices, huh? Ooh. She Bajoran?
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
And the
So
box,
am I.
too.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
We got a few different I wish I knew my classes of ships better. You know, that one's an Excelsior class down on the lower left-hand corner. I think that was... Oh, fuck, I can't remember its name. That one... Oh, what class is that? Change of station. And this whole story is all original. Alright, we got Voyager Era Comm Badge. And check in at security. Welcome to Starbase 128.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Oh, look at that. So, from what I read about this game is that this game is going to be more Star Trek-esque than other games in the past have been, as other games have dealt more with combat. Can you change like perspective? No. Okay. Dealt with like combat and stuff like this. This one is going to be more diplomatic.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway,
Really?
I finished in the top 20.
Well, good for you.
Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Deck.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was
in
glad to
first
be
place.
on solid ground.
Pleasure is mine.
The pleasure is mine. Ensign,
Paul Calloway.
good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Alright, so you start as a character that's at Commander, right? I thought it was going to be a lower rank. Oh, look, he's doing his thing. Repair status. NCC 92317. 92317. USS Resolute. It looks like a California class, I think. Bold.
Good day, Commander.
Hello. Oh, so if I hold that button, I can see all my interactions that I can. What do we got here? Service 128. Strategic applicators, command tech center, expedite initiatives, dynamic services, virtual rooms, deliver corridors, convergence doors, step portals, integrated desks, streamlines. Okay. That's it. Oh shit. Oh. Tricorder mode. Flip phaser, tricorder. Camera, crouch, movement, run. Okay. And control the camera. Oh wow, look. There's okay, so we have shooting. There's stealth. There's gonna be stealth. We get to use the tricorder. phasers. Fly the shuttle at some point. That's cool. So far we've met Ensign Calloway. I don't know who Carter is. I guess we'll see soon, probably.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me.
Whoop.
Thanks so much, Commander.
Not until I find Commander Ermont.
Who's this? Hey, how you doing?
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Oh, there he is.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Who's this person?
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
Excuse me, don't mind me.
Excuse me.
Oh, she actually says excuse me. That's great.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Sorry. Hello.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our research vessel.
What have you heard?
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War.
Oh.
Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said.
Right, so this is after the Dominion War, which is after DS9, which is right for the uniforms.
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed.
Oh
We
shit.
thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
Sorry for your loss.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
You hurt?
Were you hurt in the accident? In the equipment malfunction?
Nothing worse than the loss of so many. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
I'll earn their trust.
Trust is earned, and it sounds like I have my work cut out for me. But I plan on winning them over.
I don't doubt that. I just figured it was better to know what you were walking into.
Of course.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region.
Jara made a good first impression with Commander Irma, coming off as shrewd and inquisitive while showing empathy for what the crew of the Resolute suffered. Oh, okay. Shrewd?
I'll let the captain brief you on. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Okay. Oh, shit. Who are you? Are you the other guy?
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Plasma torch. Hyper spanner. Plasma torch. Cool. Oh shit. Ah. Alright. Ah, Jesus. Oh. There we go. Okay. Ooh. And pull out. Well, that's fried. Look at the nice shiny one.
And that is that.
Yeah. Look at us being warp engineers. The lower decks. Thank you for that nod.
I thought the thing was totally fried.
Hey, hello.
Nice work, Carter.
He's Carter.
Nearly.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants
she's
done
a trill.
engineering. Like, now.
Oh, okay. But if I want to talk to people. Hi.
Everything okay?
I dropped a non-ferrous connector between the coils. Gonna have to remove a few of them to find it, and then...
Whew, then another hour of recalibrating. Ouch. I'll leave you to it.
Wait for me. I don't want to leave yet. I want to look at stuff. Move probe.
Come on!
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than zero G.
Carter
Welcome.
Diaz!
Hey, come on now. Let me help the guy.
So clean I can see myself. And you know what? Not half bad.
All right. I'm coming. I don't want to piss off the chief engineer. Oh, this is so cool. Hi, guys. Hey, bud, what's going on?
Hey, need any help? Okay. Good luck.
Hurry up!
I'm coming. Who's this? Turbo lift.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You can handle
When we
it.
working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
Uniforms look good though.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Oh, okay.
Petty Officers Ed Solar,
He's Vulcan.
Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
So we're replaceable.
So you're
Jesus,
saying
Mel.
we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could. You can interpret as you see fit.
Ooh, yeah, they don't like
I
that.
don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
We'll be ready.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these...
Hold on. I found Carter to be cheeky and cavalier when he and almost late in main engineering. It wasn't that they were late; they were almost late.
disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
But yeah, it's gonna be hard not to piss off the Vulcan.
All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
They're scrambling.
You won't get an argument from me, Nelly. Sure seems like everyone's still scrambling.
And I get it. When has a relaunch ever gone off without a hitch? But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
I have no doubts.
They may not be the same crew we started out with, but they're still Starfleet. They'll know what to do when the time comes.
I prefer the scientific method. Evidence over assumptions.
This game is a little buggy.
Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Welcome aboard.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. as soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Spacewalk. Do I get to go walk on the hull?
Here,
That's gonna be
let me help you.
awesome.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go.
Don't knock on the helmet. Ding, ding. Ah, my ears, my
See
head.
you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Oh boy. Buggy. Here we go. Hey, where are you going? Go forward. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, don't get vertigo, everyone.
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Whoa. Okay, that's dope. Shiny. Aw, we don't get to take part. All hands. Yeah,
Captain
man.
Solano should be
What
here
a tease. Alright, let's meet the captain, I guess.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
Obliots.
And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Okay. That's interesting. What's that? Damn it.
The first mineral Captain Solano ever discovered.
Goody!
Always was the nostalgic type.
Welcome in, bud. Hey, we're playing Star Trek Resurgence. Brand new Star Trek game that came out, and basically puts you in the driver's seat of a character in Star Trek, and your decisions and choices alter the character's interactions and story the way it goes. Whoa.
Can't wait to plot a course myself.
Jara
Oh my
Ryan.
goodness. Bring me pictures of
Last time I saw you,
Spider-Man.
it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrit Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
This is enough for me.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I mean, the accident? It was a malfunction.
I heard that you had an equipment malfunction.
Is that what they're calling it? No, that's just someone being generous. If anything, it was a leadership malfunction.
Oh.
We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle.
Damn.
It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
Crew knew the risks.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, we might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO, and I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission.
Okay.
Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
You can rely on me.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
Oh.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
That's not good.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hotari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
Who's this
But
diplomat?
the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. What might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
I would be honored.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Was reassured by Jara's modesty and leadership potential after their first meeting. Amanda felt encouraged by Carter's warm reception when she first arrived aboard Resolute, holding out hope there might be some chemistry between them. Oh, Miranda likes the Carter. Hold on. Can I go to the replicator? Okay, nope. Big game. Alright. The bridge is a little Galaxy class-esque. A little bit. With the curved panels and such.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer.
Excuse me.
Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best
Hello.
in the business.
One of.
Well,
He's
what he
Bajoran.
lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our chief science officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as
Bedrosian?
long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time. And I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
The honor is mine.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves. And you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely set a standard to strive for.
Okay. Enough about me?
That's very kind of you to say, but enough about me. We have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway.
Like I said, this is a
They
brand
drag
new
your
game.
feet any longer. The bridge is yours.
The captain's chair when ready.
Tactical station. Hopefully, a diplomatic mission won't require we use our weapons much. But if it comes to that, we'll be ready. Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily.
Bubby.
Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude.
Bubby.
I'll have to speak with him later.
Brand new and they repeat themselves. I know, right?
Impressive range of view.
This was like the TV show. If this was like on TV or in a movie, this is like the angle you'd see. Right here.
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class.
Centaur
meaning
class.
it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Thank you. Finally, somebody told me what class of ship we're on. It's Centaur.
Operations. Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Tactical halo.
Tactical hollow dais.
Hollow dice.
Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Oh. That's neat. So chair.
The first officer seat. My seat. Right now, though, I need to fill in for Captain Solano.
Master Systems display.
So many decks. Full of crew that are now my responsibility. Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
Lift.
Turbo lift could take me anywhere on, but I'm right where I need to be.
Right, is that everything? Did I look at everything? Okay.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
I don't like the idea of just turning off the structural integrity. Storm surge.
The storm is getting worse.
Oh boy.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Can I turn the camera? Look at the nacelle.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
Of course I do.
Yeah, of course I do. Starfleet's an open door. We just have to walk through it. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy.
We're not just on the hull, we're on the underside of the hull.
See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
All right. What do I need? Calibration tool?
Beginning recalibration.
Align. Fucking get over there. Ooh, ooh. Did that do it?
That wasn't so hard.
What? I don't like red beeping things.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes,
This dude's gonna
I'm
have an
Chief Science
attitude.
Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. At least I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
So you're useful.
Well, I'm so glad you said that. Now I know exactly who to turn to when I have questions.
God damn it.
Questions are more Commander Ermont's territory. Captain Solano primarily relies on my knowledge and expertise when he needs answers. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if As an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion. What would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
The captain understands.
Captain Solano's familiar with my condition. I'm sure it factored into his decision. So I'd have to say it's not a problem.
But we should probably have a contingency plan just in case. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet.
Spicy.
His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
I don't think I could ever replace Commander Sutherland. And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into. It's
He seems that was like neutral.
Unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns,
excuse me,
nature,
red beeping,
come up with a scientific
red beeping.
Just a moment.
Lots of red beeping.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Uh-oh.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert!
Red alert!
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Bill, people on the hull. People on the hull.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
People on the hull.
Structural integrity field shut down. We can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
Wait, there's a...
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
No, it's Star Trek classic. Shields up!
Send power to our shields.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
Oh.
This is it.
Losing it, red beeping.
All
Lots of red
hands,
beeping.
brace for impact.
People on the hull. People on the hull.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
That can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Okay, sure.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Yeah.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Toggle. Toggle.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
So. Put this one over here.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
Leave it at that.
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
What? Alright. Yeah.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Exit a clear path. Oh my god. Oh god, Jesus, what the fuck?
Are you alright?
Yeah. Suit took most of it. Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampener is down to 60%.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
We're almost to the regulator.
Zap. Zap. Yeah, your space junk. Zap, zap.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Alright, alright. Come on.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Is that what we want?
EPS lines to the port warp engine are back in balance.
Okay, good, good, good.
Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
Not the freeze on the face when something starts to shake. Ooh! That's not good. Jesus! Okay.
Get down!
Yeah, Jesus.
Diaz to bridge! We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working. What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us. Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
All right, we're on it.
All right, Starbase, we're on it.
Acknowledged.
Commander, hear me. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? This isn't your call to make. Blow
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order.
Yes, sir.
Jara?
Yes, sir. Disengaging the clamps.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there.
The captain made himself quite clear.
Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
What is the holdup?
Blow the bolts.
We're going to blow the bolts. Starbase, stand by. We'll warn our crew to take cover.
Get it done, Rydek.
They'll be fine.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, you have more micro debris incoming. Find cover.
Cover? Nilly, get into the access panel. It's armored with duranium.
But what about you?
Carter, maybe we can both fit behind this.
What? Ow. Yeah, open whole panel. God damn.
They've blown the other docking clamp. Hurry!
Oh, I ain't got time for your ass. Ooh. Hey, the captain gave...
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Oh. Come on. Come on. Come on. Whoosh. Whoosh. A little assistance here. Oh, thank you. Oh, both sticks.
Look out!
Oh no. Oh. Oh no, you don't.
I got you.
Ooh.
Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. It has come to my attention that you are at risk of triggering a
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
Roger that. Going there now.
Oh shit. Oh my god. The way her face is darkened is fucking crazy.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
He's awake.
go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this.
No way, you're first.
Get in there.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
I need to refresh trigger. It's lagging like crazy. Oh, I know, right? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Got this.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
God damn. Well, that was intense. I think bro got some brain fry action, though. From whatever green lightning that was. The price of duty.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off.
Owie.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good.
There's a wicked looking
You gotta be
burn.
more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
See, I told you they'd be fine. Gotta do what the captain says. Could be first day on duty, all contradicting the captain and shit.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
The Resolute suffered damage from the exploding bolts, but we've successfully moored to the station. The ship is secure. Our systems are coming back online, but we have a fair amount of repairs before we're ready to go.
Put a halt on the roll-off of Starbase engineering staff. We have a schedule to keep. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Yes, sir.
What a debacle. I was caught with my pants down. Not even on my own ship when the wave hit. I had to go running out of the Starbase commander's office just to... But you followed my order. I appreciate that. Hell, I'm relieved.
Did it because it was right.
I did it because it was the right thing to do at the time. It's protocol for a reason.
That doesn't make this better, Jara. But you see my problem, don't you? They were all against me on that bridge. And they were ready to go against my orders. I'm not blind to it.
I think you're wrong about them.
I think you're wrong about that. You still have the respect of the crew, and we have bigger things to deal with. We have a high-priority mission ahead of us and a lot to do to get ready.
We're going to have a pretty big problem if I can't count on the bridge staff. To say nothing of the rank and file. Oh. Drink?
Sure.
Sure. Thank you.
your predecessor, Commander Sutherland, is missed. But for all the adoration of the crew, including the senior staff, I just couldn't rely on him. He would question, undermine me in front of the crew. I sometimes think they still hear his voice. That sort of thing is a way of lingering. And you can't argue with a ghost.
Fresh start.
Captain, perhaps you and the crew would be better served if you look at this mission as a fresh start.
You can never really leave the past behind.
If we don't, you can never move forward.
Now, this won't be easy, but I'm glad I have you here with me.
Glad to be here, Captain.
Away from Captain Silent stress take the leadership ability in the aftermath of the crisis at Space Dock. Resurgence was worried when it seemed Jara was willing to follow orders from Starbase Gage docking plant when crew was at risk. And she was even more worried when Jara seemed willing to follow Captain Solano's orders without explaining the situation. And she was disappointed when Jara followed Captain Solano's orders and put the crew on the whole at risk. Commander Westbrook was worried when it seemed Jara was willing to follow orders from Starbase. It's all the same. And was troubled when it seemed Jara was willing to follow orders from Starbase. And he was even more concerned when Jara seemed willing. Commander Ermit respected Jara's confidence in following Commander Solano's orders, even though he had his own conflicted feelings about putting the crew of the whole at risk. And Lieutenant Commander Chovak approved of Jara's decision to follow Captain Solano's orders to blow the bolts from the docking clamps. Wait for me today. Elder was grateful and tried to put her safety ahead of his own on the hull. Okay.
And despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Finish it. Little eyebrow.
Ready or not? Here we go.
So he gave us a drink. Gotta finish it. Excuse me. Ooh.
All departments reporting full mission readiness.
The looks of the crew did not seem approving.
All departments reporting full mission readiness.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one.
I'm going to sleep. I'm sleepy. Okay, Mel. Get some good rest, okay? If you got any aspirin, go take it, okay?
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
Here we go. I did take some. Yeah. Make sure you drink a bunch of water. So you're good and hydrated. Night, night, now.
Do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Cap.
You know what? You take this one.
Me?
Engage.
Engage.
Yeah. The card's word. Engage.
Simple, but effective.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
Whoa, what's going on?
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Oh, jeez.
Commander, help me get her inside.
Ooh, owie. God damn. That sounded like she hit the ground hard.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your deridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer.
Dr. Duval.
To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the deridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
Can be difficult.
I don't like the attention it brings. Being treated differently than everyone else.
But you are different. That's not something you can change.
True. But sometimes it makes it even more difficult than it already is.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. The lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. The breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on. But the more the time passes and the further out of reach it gets, the more risk he'll be willing to take. People become blinded by their own ambition. I've seen it happen before.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. I have to admit, I was concerned when I heard what happened over the bridge. You just followed Solano's order.
What'd that do? Would rather see her think independently. Follow Captain Solano's every order. Okay, yeah.
Despite having better options in front of you.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure's almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of Duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
Thanks for coming.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
That's good.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's a combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. It's come by a
Hello?
couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
Thanks for checking on me.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sick bay and stop in. Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it. Or worse, leaving it unsaid.
Tell me anything.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends. Carter?
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Interesting. Cast adrift.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Whoa!
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding. We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Okay.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering.
Oh.
Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Okay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Ooh, it says the Excelsior on it.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Got it.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
The tractor beams deflect asteroids. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Got it. What's that?
That's gonna take out the shuttle. There's the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Ryder, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Okay. Ah.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17, 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Thought I was about to slam it on into the fucking shuttle bay. Very well done.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Well, who's the diplomat? Wait.
Terra firma, so to speak.
No fucking way.
Ambassador Spock.
Oh. Oh, no shit.
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Awkward. Welcome aboard.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter?
Carter?
Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz. It appears I have you to thank for my safe arrival. Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
I had some help.
Well, it wasn't all me. I got some help from upstairs.
A bombastic approach to clearing debris. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Otari space.
Wait, what'd that say? Rescue shuttle. He was left with the distinct impression that Carter is a team player.
It is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Indeed.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
So this is definitely before any of the events in the Kelvin timeline, which would be the 2009 Star Trek movie. Pretty ship shots. A provocation to war.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
Let's focus on the future.
We're all curious about the future, Ambassador. Specifically, what exactly are we getting involved in here?
We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Illydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them
excuse me.
peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
That is correct.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not merely the absence of war. And as such, this conflict will surely come again.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
Ooh.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
Gives us leverage.
We could use that as leverage with the Illidians. They'll want the Federation to continue buying from them.
There might be something to that, Commander.
Putting that on the table could make the Hotari more hostile.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Illidium dilithium trade,
Spock
Captain
went
Solano
green.
and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
Buys us some time.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Sir.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, Commander Rydek could ingratiate himself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not a diplomat.
With all due respect, Ambassador, I'm not a trained diplomat.
That's exactly what we're going to leverage.
I began my time in Starfleet as a science officer, not as an ambassador. We must be adaptable in the line of duty.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have
Green
more luck
again.
finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Buggy. Didn't show subtitles for any of that. Fucking goddamn. This is right here a good example of them releasing games that aren't polished before they release them. Jesus. Navigational complexities. Hold on. Notice Jara's keen intellect and unique insight into the dynamics of the Hotari-Illidian conflict during the mission briefing. Ambassador Spock also noted Jara's caution when presented with her back-channel mission. Okay.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock?
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of this starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer of this shuttlecraft.
When you look at it logically, yes, it is just a shuttle. No different than any of the others.
There is plenty that is different about it, and that is what you are to investigate. But please limit your findings to observable scientific phenomena.
We'll try to restrain ourselves.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report. Carry on.
Carry on.
It seems like he's warming up to us.
Wait. I agree with Carter's purely logical approach to Ambassador Spock's shuttle.
Even Chovok has to look at that face and know you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit
excuse
that
me.
I owe you one. You were right to make me go first. I don't know what I was thinking.
You don't mean...
You did the smart thing.
You've pulled me out of trouble how many times? Call it even.
Okay. At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
She doesn't. I'll just remind her how much she values her friendship with Carter. And say she doesn't. Aw.
Ready to go?
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, do. His arm. Begin diagnostic.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
Have some faith.
And I know you'll respect that.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her. Just running the numbers, and things don't work out more often than they do. I like my friends, and I like our group. I don't want to lose that.
Okay.
Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Data recorder.
Here.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Warp field
Warp
inversion.
field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
So, cascade
There was a
failure?
complete warp cascade failure.
Wow. They're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation. Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Did the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
Yeah.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variants out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate
Warp
this.
coils.
One of these systems is likely broken.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
I want to look at the nacelle. Your tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through will reveal the unseen. Use square to equip it to your equip it. Holster your tricorder and use R to. Okay. Must be close to some objects to scan them. Watch the frame of the screen to see if you're too far away. Some objects you scan will activate a deep scan. During a scan, scan mode, search for glowing objects. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink. If there's an object to find in the mode, you have scanned all objects. The frame will change color to analyze the data. Oh, okay. Hmm? What am I looking for? Send out coils guide the warp field to the a collimated thrust vector. No fractures detected. In their state the warp coils produce a residual electromagnetic field. No deviations detected. Wait, 2 out of 3 anomalies detected. The leading code shows evidence of routine maintenance to repair micro abrasions from neutrino interactions.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, Must be the navigation array.
Except it's not. Checked and double-checked.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm not here.
I'm not here.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go. The captain and the others will be here any minute now. Should be an interesting ride down to the surface.
You have the important job.
You're the one with the important job to do. Keeping the captain safe. And Ambassador Spock.
It doesn't always feel that way. Baking in the hot sun, standing guard next to an empty shuttlecraft. But it has its moments.
Hey, Maris. Aren't these those button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole, steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
So the captain's a train guy.
You don't want to miss your train.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
Yes, sir.
More important things on my mind. That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Save some of that for when I get back.
You got a deal.
Be seeing you.
You better not red shirt this mission. Lower decks dalliance. What's that trophy? Chose to date Miranda. Oh. Alright, what's the ultra rare?
I'm out of ideas short of field.
I probably shouldn't look at the trophies.
Take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the
They seem
bench?
a little spoilery.
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it. Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Running now.
There it is.
Same. Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
What if the subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Error in warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there.
Ooh.
Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Warp pressure is destabilized. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Does that mean?
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
So they're trapped in Hotari space. Okay. That's not good. Peter Bauer.
Ambassador Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are honored you have come.
Yeah, it's a
My
big
name
lady.
is Tyler Saltaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
The honor is ours, and this is Commander Jara Rydick, first officer aboard the USS Resolute. You'll find she has a keen mind and unique insight into the dynamics between the Hotari and the Illidians.
We're honored to be here.
We are honored to be here as representatives of the Federation.
I'm so glad.
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation.
Oh, jeez. Who's this guy?
The reigning authority in the galaxy.
Buggy.
Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Uh-oh.
Let's hope this is the last time we ever have to come here.
If you'll excuse me.
Oh boy.
I think we're about to begin.
Who's ready to be a diplomat?
Did you hear the arrogance from that guy? I don't know what we're walking into here. But that guy was something.
Don't underestimate him.
Something about his tone tells me this won't be easy.
That was my sense as well.
I doubt he speaks for all of Hotari, so I would urge patience until we speak with their queen.
So all right, so he's not the guy we're going to talk to. It's not the top diplomat. They have a queen. Gulp. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Show difference. Show strength.
Ambassador Spock, welcome to Hotari Prime.
The honor is mine, Your Majesty.
That the Federation would send one of their most respected representatives is not only an honor to the Hotari people and their queen, but a recognition of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members of their alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Illidian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more. That has always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
For now.
Saying this wouldn't be easy was an understatement. I thought they wanted us here.
Yeah.
Was there something you wanted to say, Captain?
Oh, no. My apologies.
And what about the Kobliad?
She's not part
She
of...
can speak for herself, can't she? Then let her.
Gulp. My queen.
Now then, one should know their place. What you might be somewhere else is not what you are here. Which is standing before a queen. And a queen deserves respect. A bow is not too much to ask. Is Hotari Prime, heart of the Hotari system.
My name is not
My
Kobe.
name is Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty. I prefer to be called by my name, not my species.
Then I suppose that makes us even. Commander.
Yeah.
You are Kobliad. Your people suffered brutal treatment at the hands of the Cardassians. Their injustice towards the Kobliad is as unimaginable as it is unforgivable. Not unlike how we have been treated by the Elidians.
As much as they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elidians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet! If after all the Kobliad suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it? Or would you negotiate a peace?
Right the wrong. I can't speculate on that. I would seek peace.
There is no remedy for what the Kobliad suffered. And I fear who we might have become in pursuit of it. There is no justice if the oppressed become the oppressor. So I would willingly accept a peaceful resolution if it were offered. That is the real opportunity.
Big spot like that.
Commander Rydek. Perhaps. Unfortunately, that was not the case, was it?
No, it was not.
Peace is often elusive to those who need it most. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Ambassador Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest.
Ambassador, if I may.
So why are you really here?
Why are you really
I
here?
want the truth, not your Federation rhetoric.
Dilithium is a factor.
It's possible the Federation has an interest in both peace and securing a steady source of dilithium. One does not preclude or prevent the other. But that's just my personal opinion.
Given the Federation has done business with the Elidians for decades, I would agree. It's entirely possible, if not highly likely.
Okay.
What they haven't said, but cannot deny, is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without a Lydian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
That is enough of your lies!
Uh-oh.
The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries. So tell me, who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the mines on Tau? Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Elydians?
Oh, you guys just make me straight up pick?
Only be one or the other, not both.
People died on their side.
If there can only be one, then it would be in the best interest of all involved if the Elydians resumed operation of the mine.
And that is why we should not trust our fate to the Federation.
She speaks sense. You do well to listen to her.
And you do well to hold your tongue.
We will take back our minds by any means necessary.
And you will see more blood spilled.
I am more than willing to address your concerns, Your Majesty. Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
I would agree, Ambassador Spark.
I don't know if I fucked up or not.
I think this is best left to those of us with more experience in diplomatic matters.
I don't feel like that was gonna go good either way. He did not seem happy.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Each faction.
Soothing.
Commander, after hearing so much about the Federation's sense of fairness and justice, I was surprised that you sided with the Elydians. In all honesty, I expected more, especially from someone like you.
Not on either side.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
On the Elydians' terms, apparently.
I assume you were there, the day the mines were seized from the Elydians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive, before the Elydians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Were the Hotari miners armed during the revolt? I'm just trying to understand how it happened.
If by that you mean armed with centuries of abuse and exploitation at the hands of the Elydians, then yes.
Which doesn't really answer my question.
We had them vastly overwhelmed from the start. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship. The Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship.
Nope.
Ready to contend with anything the Illydians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
The Resolute can hold its own.
I wouldn't say state of the art, but the Resolute is plenty capable and can hold its own against just about anything.
Let's hope so. Because at the moment, it's the only thing preventing them from wiping us off the map.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Okay.
Commander Rydek, I have to admit, I was surprised when you said the Illydians should control the dilithium trade. I was under the assumption the Federation was neutral. But maybe I was wrong.
I don't care about the dilithium.
We came to help negotiate a peace, not for business. And I can assure you, we have no interest in dilithium.
Everyone has an interest in dilithium. But I trust a peaceful resolution serves all our interests. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
Against peace?
I take it they're against a negotiated peace with the Illydians.
Heroes tend to want more of what made them heroic. If it were up to them, they'd wage all-out war and bring ruin upon us all.
Interesting.
My fear has been that the Illydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them. But it has no teeth.
Yeah,
They're
so?
afraid of what might happen.
Do you think it has something to do with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Illydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
What?
I made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we...
I'd better see what's happening.
Okay.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Alright.
Sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured it might be useful if I offered another perspective.
Of course.
I have to say, I fully expected you to side with the Hotari. But obviously the Federation wants a steady supply of dilithium. Something only we can offer. Without Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. Left to the Hotari, it would be nothing short of a disaster.
Restoring the status quo and returning the mines to Lydian control offers a stability that can be mutually beneficial.
Well said. In that case, everyone wins and there's no need for bloodshed. Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander.
That really
I
fast.
have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
What really happened?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mine? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives, that it was more than just the storm, that somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
But they were primitive.
You said the Hotari were primitive.
Well, they are.
Except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Rydek. Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Oh boy. And back on the ship.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
Might be the storm.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Oh boy. Shuttle time. What's this? What was that on this ship?
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
R2 to fly forward, to fly forward, turn straight. Okay. Ooh.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
It's not so bad.
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard.
Down, 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 up.
This is far enough.
Oh, Jesus. I thought I was gonna crash.
This is far enough. Transporting the...
Probe.
Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I'm just not getting any traction with her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. She didn't listen to me when you were out on the hull and I was trying to make it safer for you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
Captain Solano likes her.
Captain Solano likes her, and you trust the captain, right?
I do. Yeah. I'm not sure if the transitive property is really applicable here, Diaz, but I catch your drift.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
What was that?
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
Whoa!
Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
Well, if you're asking, I think you're a people person. After all, here we are. Me, an enlisted officer. You, one of the senior staff. Talking like old buddies.
I should send Solano to talk to you.
Bring him on.
I'm sure you can handle him. You've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. There are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too. Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I love it. So put me up for promotion. I'm ready for my next challenge.
Well, I think you're going to have to prove that to your boss, Chovak, first. He's the one who has to put you up for consideration. If I were first officer, it would be different.
Well, what do you think? Is there room for me in the science division?
Unless I can come up with a real good reason.
This isn't enough?
Might be. Here.
Okay.
This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. On.
Whoa.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually. We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Oh? One? Oh, there's one.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
They do that.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's the current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger.
Uh-oh.
Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Elydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Elydians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
Excuse me.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mine. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
You trust me?
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
To learn more about
Sidron
us?
was very curious when we spoke outside the Queen's chamber. He wanted to know all about us, our ship, the Federation. He wasn't giving any answers. He was looking for them.
Well, I'm sure you didn't tell him too much. I don't think the Elydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harness the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Elydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Okay.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
You have to help her.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're
Or
not
maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Elydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
Spock's like, I'll handle the Federation. Don't worry about the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari.
Containment protocol.
Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovok down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Oh wow. You liked it.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
Ooh, there it goes.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
I'm good at what I do.
What can I say? I'm good at what I do.
I can see that.
Oh.
Come on, start pulling chips.
You didn't like that. Oh. Oh boy. What did I do? This one. Sorry. Oh. Okay. Gotta be careful for that. It's the impression I'm smart, pragmatic, and hungry for advancement. Then, thought Jara performed well under pressure when she was being questioned by the Atari Queen. Really? How Jara expressed concern about any danger Tylus might encounter by helping the Federation. Yoink. Oh shit, I dropped one. What is that?
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Don't make me pick it up. Oh God.
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364 subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
It does pose a threat.
Well, if it's not natural, then someone might have put it there. It could be a tracking device. Some kind of sabotage. Or even a bomb.
Which is why we need to get it to the containment lab.
Come on.
I can't make an exception. Not even for you.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. If you think you could do it without getting in trouble.
I'll find a way.
Be very careful.
Okay, stand back.
Don't touch it. See, that was the smart way to move it.
Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core.
She's right about that too. Oh!
Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast? But she usually doesn't scare easy.
Good job.
Well, of course she's taking it seriously, but that's her job. If she's on duty, she's got to be on the lookout for danger.
Yeah, but talking about sending a distress call on her own? That's going too far. Although, you didn't seem to think so. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon, originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-reference.
I just want anybody to know if anybody's listening. If y'all are watching. I'm assuming some people are. If I'm being quiet, it's because I'm just invested in this story right now. That's all.
With Federation rec.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
Oh. Ah. No. 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 Oh. Nope. Oh. How many freaking emblems are there? Oh. Have I not got through all of them? Wait a second.
%99.2% map.
Got it.
Who is it? Khan Empire?
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it
course they
possible
were.
the Otari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
I can't speculate about how much they know, but one thing's for sure. They know how to use it.
Indeed.
Which might explain how they seized control of the mines.
And targeted us with a weapon that prevents warp travel.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Takan artifacts?
On stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardus. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
And the Ferengi Starfleet restrictions.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
Last guy, 6-3.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The Illydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
Need to go
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau.
Covert?
Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
Oh, so assemble
I'll get the
away
away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. But given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Illydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime. Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Okay. Away mission. Why did what's-her-face go down? This is better than bonus when discussing how to address the Hotari threat. Senior stuff. She was inspired. Okay. Impressed by John's intelligent approach to the mission, despite the evident risks. Cool. Austin found.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Diaz to Maris.
Try her again. Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
Where are you?
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips.
Ooh. Big computer room. You ever get to see this in the show?
Who did this?
What the? Just silently. Whoa.
What the?
Oh, it's just you. I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
Glad I found you.
I'm glad I found you. I was worried. We tried you on the comm badge and you didn't answer.
Oh, I guess I was just caught up in my work. But I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have other things to do. Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
What were you doing?
What exactly were you doing in here? I saw you accessing files, copying them onto that.
This is secure data. It's really not my place to talk about it. Look, I appreciate that you came to check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship. Nothing's gonna happen to me here.
You in trouble?
Miranda, you can be honest with me. Are you in some kind of trouble? Commander Westbrook said the crystals you took never made it to the containment lab.
Will you drop it? I don't like being interrogated, Carter.
Hey, wait up!
I'm getting some very mixed signals from you right now. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business. I know we have some things to figure out. I don't have time to stand around and debate with you. Not right now.
You tell them yourself?
If you won't give me a straight answer, you can tell them yourself.
This doesn't concern you, so I'm good with that.
Miranda, hold on!
No. Get out of my way.
Hey, 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 hey. Oh, this isn't gonna go well.
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear them, because I know what it looks like.
Ask her! She was doing something with this. Copying all kinds of data.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
What were you doing?
That's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Where are the crystals?
Even if that was true, it still doesn't answer what happened to the crystal formation that she took. And she isn't helping.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I brought them where they belonged, and that's where I left them.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Miranda, maybe you're feeling out of sorts, and we should head to sickbay so the doc can check you out?
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
That's a
You
good
two
idea.
know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Please, just let me go see the doctor.
Take her to sickbay.
She did have a bumpy ride back on the shuttle.
Let's take her to sickbay. It's better than the brig, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay, what did I just do now? She seems thankful. Can I, like, click this and see more? She seemed thankful but she was thankful he seemed concerned for her well-being. Instead of sickbay instead of the break.
Fine. Get checked out by medical. You two go with her. I'll put this back together.
Excuse me. Okay. Why is this? Bye bye.
Foliage on Tau resembles underwater plant life on Earth. The universe is full of mysteries.
Okay. Well, ale or whatever.
Rydick here.
This is Irma. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to like shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydick out.
Overall condition doesn't come into big crouch. Sam.
The ionic interference is coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
This way? Definitely her. Green, her ring's glowing green right now.
I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
I was worried about you.
When you called to give us a scan, it sounded like they caught you. I was worried you'd been hurt.
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Okay.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible, but explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Takan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
Down. Walking up the hill.
That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, that's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door.
Oh, great. Stealth action time. We don't fuck it up.
How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you try to deny me entry.
The Queen, but I just...
You've just what? Just now realized the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further up the ladder. You have no authority here. Do you understand who pays your wage? I can inform the Queen directly of this insolence.
There's no
You'll
need
regret
for...
everything you've said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared before you.
That's not the protocol. I didn't know
Each
you were...
second you delay my entry will be recorded, processed, and permanently marked on your record. Can't believe this. Does your brain function? Do you speak our tongue?
Minister, I have orders.
How could a fellow Hotari not understand this? You're digging your own grave. I've reached the end of my patience. Escort me to the maintenance bay.
Okay. Let's get a look inside you.
A wise choice. Lead the
All
way.
I know if I'm passing through. What, focusing on kind of feeling? What's that? Video receiver? Sleep scan.
Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo.
Boom.
Better hurry. Not sure how long she can keep him busy. Might be rigged to only open for registered users. No control panel here. I should take a look with my tricorder. Something in here is keeping that door closed.
And scanned.
Got it. Should remove the security check on the door.
Progress. Oh my. Mind house. What do I get down? Oh. Hey, it looks like an arrow. Down this way. Okay, thank you. Ooh.
I didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it?
Mm.
I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to listen to you otherwise.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Okay, what did that do? Felt proud after Jara supported the way she handled the guard and the mines on town. Okay.
Calvin and Sidron have gone to
Excuse
great
me.
lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it.
Okay. Oh, so we're looking for... bio?
There's DNA on this console, but it's only partial. I can't use this.
Maybe because we're outside.
The weather out here could dilute any DNA samples.
What about inside that structure? That's where the workers spend most of their time.
Good idea. An Illydian console.
All the managerial technology in the mines is Illydian.
So they can keep an eye on their investment.
That's how it is.
Hygiene clearly isn't a priority down here. Wow, that is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots.
What's that?
Not concentrated enough. I should try somewhere else. There's gotta be stable DNA here.
Saliva.
That's a stable DNA sample. It's only partial, but a few more should do it. Some kind of glowing mineral being used as a light source. Might want one of these for my cabin, actually.
What's that? Holster? Holster? Uh-oh. Something bugged. So I can't put this away now. That'll fix it. Buggy. Go through the whole conversation again, I assume. Apparently. You know, maybe I'll just call it here, actually. I do have work in the morning. I'm definitely gonna play this again. And finish the story tomorrow night. Yeah, I think that might be what I do. Just pick up. That seems like a good spot as I to pick up. Yeah, good air sound. There you go. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It was fun. Y'all have a great night. See you next time. This is Cast Chronos, as always saying, be good people, y'all. Let's go show Eric some love. Chronos out.